Your organization and management team have a certain expectation of supplier quality. They may have a mission statement or a stated corporate value. As the buyer, you need to be fully aware of management's real commitment. You may need to challenge your management to get behind the quality effort. And that's okay. But you can't be ahead of your management. You can't be rejecting parts or suppliers that the production manager or the senior management will excuse. There has to be no daylight between you and your organization. Everybody in the organization has a customer. The sales group have the most obvious customer. It's the actual customer for the organization. But the production group also has a customer. It's the sales organization. Production produces the parts and provides them to sales for sales to distribute to the customer. Now, engineering is supporting production, and purchasing primarily supports production. So the customer for purchasing is primarily production operations. On quality issues, there can't be any daylight between you and your organization and between you and your production manager. Remember, you're the conduit for the organization to the supplier community. Don't create obstacles that management will not support you on. Don't ignore issues or requirements that your organization requires. You need to be the organization man. You need to take the company side 100% on all quality issues. When management's committed to quality, they assign higher priority to quality over the cost or over the schedule. They provide you with adequate resources for quality implementations. They invest in human and financial resources to ensure the quality. They make quality a dimension in the performance evaluations for everyone. In a manufacturing organization where the main focus is on product quality, the objective of the purchasing department is to maintain that quality. So, let's talk about the APQP process. And we're doing an audit at the supplier. The first thing to consider is the product readiness. Is the product that the supplier is providing, have they met all of the regulatory requirements? Do they have regulatory compliance? Have they completed all of their testing, their design verification and prove out, their DVPR? Is all the testing complete? Do they have the correct final drawings? Are these drawings all correct? Is the appearance acceptable? Are the design tolerances appropriate? Does the part have full functionality? Are all the engineering changes fully incorporated? Has the testing been fully signed off by their chief engineer? Are there any open concerns on the testing? So that's what we mean when we talk about product readiness. So the first step is the product ready to go to production? The next is we want to meet with the supplier in their plant and review their process plan. Now this is before we go out on the plant floor. We want to review their process plan. What's the layout? Is the layout accurate? Is it detailed? Is it up to date? Do they have control plans? Do they have their plan for variable data measurement? Where they're going to be taking the measurements? What are the critical characteristics? What are the planned facilities and tools for measuring the critical characteristics? Is the equipment that they have measured and certified? What's their maintenance program? What's the operator training, tools, and visual aids? Again, you're doing all this in a conference room with them to understand their process plan, their plan for the facility before you actually see the facility. The next step is to go out on the floor and talk about production capacity and readiness. On the shop floor, do they have the visual aids that they talked about in the process meeting? Where are they? Where will the visual aids be put? Do they have the rework bins in the right places? Do they have appropriate rework bins? Because if they don't have somewhere to put scrap parts, those scrap parts are going to find their way onto your product. Do they have the right tools, the tools that they specified in the process? Do they have the power for the tools, the right hookup for the tools, the right location for the tools? What about the operator attitude and the operator training? What about quality charting and reporting and the ramp-up plan and the shift work, and can they run at rate, and what's their plan for relief workers and breaks? And then let's talk about the measuring and testing equipment. The gauges and the check fixtures. Are they available? Are they in the right location? Are they in use? Have the operators been trained how to use them? Is the equipment certified and correct? And then let's talk about their personnel. Are they fully staffed? Are they trained? Are they capable? Have the supervisors been trained? Are they trained in the quality procedures? Do they know how to handle defects? Do they know what a defect is? And then what's their employee turnover and their ongoing training plan? And then let's talk about the quality systems. Is it ISO certified? What's the condition of the lab equipment, the cleanliness, the orderliness? Has the equipment been properly certified? Do they have a quality operating system? How do they handle defects and reporting resolutions and process changes? Now I want to talk for a minute about the cost of poor quality. And poor quality is like the iceberg. 10% of it is there for everybody to see. You know that you have costs of poor quality. It's extra inspections, it's the warranty work, it's the rework, you have extra scrap and sorting and reprocessing. So you know you have costs with poor quality, associated with poor quality. But the truth is 90% of those costs are not apparent, are not easily recognizable. You may not ever be able to figure out what the real cost, what the total cost of poor quality is. It's extra expediting of materials because you've got to change the production schedule. It's lost sales. It's a higher risk operation overall, which means your cost of capital, your cost of borrowing is going to be higher. You've got an unpredictable P&L. You've got more buffer inventory because you're concerned about the quality of a particular supplier, so you want to have extra inventory so you have material to reject on hand, and that means extra material all the way around the plant. You've got extra administrative costs associated with poor quality. You've got the customer scorecard impact. You've got extra setups, and you've got a loss of morale in the company, particularly when it comes to if you've got poor quality that's being passed on to the customer. So then you've got a problem with customer loyalty, but then you've also got the poor morale affecting your sales force and your service staff. And then scheduling conflicts and returns and allowances. You can't estimate the real costs of poor quality. And yes, you can go after a supplier who provided you with poor quality or unacceptable products. You can try to recover those costs, but you're getting 10 cents on the dollar. So do it. Go after them. You definitely have to have clauses in your purchasing contract to protect you against poor quality, but recognize that the cost of poor quality